Welcome to today's Team Kentucky update. We're starting just a little bit early to try to finish up today before a funeral taking place in Floyd County. As hopefully everybody knows by now, last Thursday was a tragic night for our Commonwealth. Heartbreakingly, we lost three heroic officers and a K-9. The shooting is Kentucky's deadliest incident for law enforcement in nearly 100 years. This week, Kentuckians and law enforcement officers from across the Commonwealth have come together and are coming together to lay these three officers to rest. I want to start today by taking a moment to honor each of them. Captain Ralph Frazier was a 39-year-old law enforcement veteran who served at the Prestonsburg Police Department since 1983. He was only 60 years old, dedicating most of his life to protecting Kentuckians. Captain Frazier leaves behind his wife, who he's married to for 42 years, along with two sons, a daughter, and four loving grandchildren. He's beloved by his family and his fellow officers, many of which viewed him as a mentor. He was an important part of the community. He served in his role as an officer, but also a fellow Kentuckian dedicated to creating a better, safer Commonwealth. He was laid to rest yesterday. Deputy William Petrie, who was laid to rest 2 days ago, was a 31-year-old law enforcement veteran who served 2 years at the Floyd County Sheriff's Office. He served 15 years with the Kentucky State Police and 14 years with the Prestonsburg Police Department. Deputy Petrie was only 60 years old. He leaves behind his wife, Sherry, his son and daughter, and two grandchildren. I read where Floyd County Sheriff Hunt stated that, well, I was there when Floyd County Sheriff Hunt stated that Deputy Petrie cared about one title, public servant. He received many accolades during his career, including Trooper of the Year while serving Post 9 with the Kentucky State Police. But most importantly, he was loved by all who knew him because of his kindness and dedication to Kentuckians. Officer Jacob Chaffins was a 3-year law enforcement veteran with the Prestonsburg Police Department. He was 28 years old. He leaves behind his wife, Savannah, and their daughter, Paisley, such a young family that should have had so much more time together. Talk about it in a minute, but I've met with each of these families, and to meet grandchildren that'll be growing up without their grandfather, and then to also meet a grandmother who has lost her grandson is hard for this community, certainly hard for those families. Officer Chaffins was not only an officer with the Prestonsburg Police, he was also a member of the local fire department, a sergeant in the National Guard, an EMT, and a U.S. Marshal. He dedicated himself to serving the people of the Commonwealth and our country, and that was he was just beginning his career in law enforcement. And then we lost the K-9 Drago, a German Shepherd drug detection K-9, who was a 6-year veteran with the Floyd County Sheriff's Office. I met with each of these families to bring them the Kentucky flag, which we've begun doing, and to let them know that all Kentuckians stand with them, and not just today in their moments of grief. But our commitment and that community's commitment, the state's commitment, is to be with those families, especially with kids and grandkids who have lost their parent or grandparents, to ensure that we provide for them and stand with them and support them, not just today and next week, but next year and for the next decade. All law enforcement is hurting. Just seeing the turnout to honor these officers is incredible, but also shows the pain that our law enforcement community is feeling. So let us continue to pray for the officers and first responders, not only them and their families that we lost that night, but those that were injured, at least two, suffering some significant injuries, but that, thank God, are going to make it. I've been able to either talk to or leave messages for both of them. Our hearts go out to all those impacted, but especially the families who are so strong. But there's at least a couple, high school or graduating from high school kids that aren't going to have their father around, and one soon to be elementary student as well. So please Continue to think about Captain Ralph Frazier, Deputy William Petrie, and Officer Jacob Chaffins. They will never be forgotten. I was told yesterday that a benefit is going to be planned. We're certainly going to get that information out from the governor's office as well to make sure people from all over the state and all over the country can participate and help.